I didn't do cold calling, I didn't do any cold emails, anything like that. These were all inbound leads. So guys, welcome back to the channel. Montel Gordon here. Hope you guys are all doing well. If you're new around here, please drop me a like, comment and subscribe. Make sure you turn on the notification bell. Doing all that stuff really helps me with the channel, helps me with the YouTube algorithm, and it really helps me push out my word, my message out to more people, and in turn I can basically impact and provide more value to more people. So if you've done so, thank you very, very much. But anyway guys, in today's video I want to break down exactly how I went about setting 17 discovery calls in one day. Guys, I am recording this on Tuesday the 11th of February 2020, and yesterday, which was Monday the 10th of February, I actually had 0 calls set up for my agency. Well, in the morning I believe I didn't have any calls. I'll actually show you a screenshot of like when you sign up with Acuity Scheduling, which is the my calendar software basically that I've told you guys about. I'll leave a link to that in the description if you guys want to sign up to Acuity Scheduling. At the start of this week, on Sunday for example, I had 0 discovery calls set up. I was kind of stressing because normally I have discovery calls set up, and the reason being is because obviously I haven't put in as much work as I normally do because of, you know, the whole New York trip that I went on to. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I actually had a vacation to New York for 10 days. In those 10 days, I literally did 0 work. I mean, absolute 0. I barely even opened my laptop. I don't even know why I took it in the first place. So I'm actually behind on work. But essentially, guys, yesterday I was able to set 17 discovery calls in one single day. At the time of recording this, it is now Tuesday. It's not even been a full 24 hours yet, so there still may be more calls coming in. But essentially guys, I wanted to break down exactly how I went about doing that. So first and foremost, let me quickly backtrack. So at my agency, we do 2 things. I have one business, but we do 2 things essentially. I help local businesses or e-commerce businesses in general, basically with their social media, whether that be Facebook ads or, you know, social media management. And then I also do consulting on the side, such as, you know, my personal brand, but I can also consult other business owners. So for example, if I have a real estate agent that wants consulting on Facebook ads, for example, I can obviously consult him with that. But primarily the consulting I'm talking about is basically mentoring other students on how to start their own social media marketing agency. So guys, let me break down the full story and give you all the details and all the facts and how you can go about replicating this for yourself. So essentially guys, that's the 2 things I do at my agency. So this is all the services underneath my agency name, because God knows I am not about to go and, you know, register 2 businesses for the 2 different things I do. So what I mean by that is I'm not gonna have, you know, Montel Gordon as a business, as in like that's my consulting business. So that's where I do like coaching and students and mentorship calls and whatnot. And then I have my own agency, which is MCG Agency, and that's where I do all client work, for example, like working with restaurant owners, working for real estate agents, work for gyms, whatever the niche may be. I'm not going to separate those 2 things. The reason being is because I'd have to register 2 businesses, which basically means I'd have to do my books twice for both my businesses. I'd probably have to get 2 business accounts. 100% I have to get 2 business accounts. I don't want that much stress in my life. So what I do is I just have MCG Agency, and within MCG Agency we have 2 types of clients: normal like business owners who are looking for social media marketing or Facebook ads, and then I help other aspiring entrepreneurs start their own social media marketing agency through consulting. And I also can do consulting through like you know, if for example like a real estate agent wanted to do some Facebook ads, but he just wanted to learn how to do Facebook ads, or if he just wanted to know how to do social media management and I wanted to then consult him, I could definitely do that, and that would still be classed underneath MCG Agency as a whole. Again, just one business, one accountant, one bank account, one business bank account, and it's very streamlined. So guys, when I say I set calls for my agency, these could be calls with, you know, real estate agents. They could be calls with just normal regular people who watch my YouTube channel and think, you know what, I want to start an SMMA, so I want Montel to mentor me. And what I've noticed, guys, is that I used to put like such a division on these two services, but realistically, guys, it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, the service is completely different. Obviously, providing Facebook ads or like social media management is completely different to consulting somebody on how to start their own agency. Of course, I'm not trying to say that, but what I'm trying to say is that in the essence of things, all I'm doing is providing a service to help one person go from where they are now to a desired situation where they want to be, basically. So with real estate agents, their current situation is they're struggling to get leads, which is their A point, call it the A point, and they want to get to their B point, their desired situation. So taking them from point A to point B. It's the same with consulting or helping one of you guys, for example. If you guys was to click on the link below and sign up for my mentorship program or something like that, all I'd be doing is helping you go from where you are right now, which if you are, struggling to get agency clients, then it would be obviously you're struggling with your agency and I help you get clients for your agency. So all I'm doing is helping you go from point A to point B. So that's all I do, guys. So that was a little bit long-winded, but essentially, guys, how did I go about setting 17 discovery calls in one day? For me, this is a record. This is my new personal best, and I'm pretty proud of this. What I did is I leveraged my personal brand and I leveraged the power of free. What I mean by that, and I'll break those two things down in a second, but essentially, guys, what I mean is I have a YouTube channel, I have a personal brand on Instagram. This is nothing new. I've been telling you guys to do this from the beginning. If you aren't doing this already, you definitely need to do this. No, it's not too late. No, it's not oversaturated. I actually believe the future of business is personal branding. It's not what you know, it's basically who you are at this point in the whole online world. And that's just because there's just so many like frauds out there, so many scammers out there. Nobody knows who to trust. So they come to YouTube to see who's, actually documented their journey, showed you their struggles, showed you them being broke to now starting to slowly make money and whatnot. And that's exactly what I've done with my personal brand. I literally documented. You can literally go back on my channel. I documented from the very moment I decided I want to become an entrepreneur. Well, I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I decided I documented the very my first ever video. I actually came out and said that I want to be an entrepreneur, but I'm completely broke, but I'm planning to do this and this. I then went and documented my journey doing this and this. It failed. I told you about that. I then got into SMMA. I told you all about my journey, like how I'm struggling to get clients, how if I closed the client, how that went. I even documented when I lost clients. I documented the whole thing. The thing I'm trying to say here, guys, is that your personal brand is that thing you can leverage that affects all businesses. So if I wanted to become a real estate agent now, it probably might be a little bit difficult to do, but in terms of like just switching from SMMA to becoming a real estate agent, the content's a little bit different. But essentially, guys, I could definitely transition into that because it's still under the entrepreneur umbrella type thing that I've kind of niched into. So my channel is all about entrepreneurship, SMMA, personal branding, lifestyle design, travel, that sort of stuff. So essentially, if I want to become like if I want to start a clothing line, for example, which is something I actually genuinely want to do and still want to do that, it's something I actually started off doing. If you go back on my channel, you can actually see I talk about clothing line a lot, well, especially in my couple of videos anyway. I would definitely be able to generate sales through my YouTube just because I'm on YouTube documenting my journey and talking about my clothing line, for example. So first thing is first, I got these leads, no doubt, from my personal brand. Now, here's how it started. I've been doing like Upwork outreach. So for my SMMA, so like my actual social media marketing agency side of things, I reach out a lot on Upwork. Upwork is a great little platform to use. I'll probably be doing a lot of videos on Upwork. Upwork has been working very, very well for me. Closed a couple clients on there already, really working well for me. So here's how the whole story started, guys. Essentially, I was having a really, I'd say a basic day, nothing too exciting. I set a discovery call for the agency. So I was on Upwork doing outreach and I actually set a discovery call there. And then I also had an inbound sales call from my personal brand as well. I then took a screenshot of that, uploaded that. And those were both clients for my agency. So I screenshotted that. I put it on my story, on my Instagram story, my Facebook story and stuff like that. And all I did is I just said, having a great week so far. I've just set 2 discovery calls basically on autopilot. Well, one of them was on autopilot, one of them was from outreach, which was pretty simple to do. Probably took me like 30 seconds to copy and paste the script. I then said to people, because people have been watching my stories previously, and I think this is what's actually caused a knock-on effect. People have been seeing that I've been generating discovery call after discovery call after discovery call, because I always make sure I screenshot and show people that I'm actually in the trenches setting discovery calls, taking discovery calls. I'll then do like little Instagram videos. So by the way, you should definitely be like, if you're taking notes, good, because you should be like documenting this. And what I mean by that is, take exactly what I'm saying and do it yourself. As in, whenever you set a discovery call and you're trying to build a personal brand, screenshot your discovery call coming in, scrub out the person's name, of course, so you don't, just in case you then go on to sign that client and people try to look up your client and you've got a non-disclosure agreement in place, it could be a little bit awkward. Just make sure you're obviously keeping people's private details private, of course. So essentially, guys, what I'm trying to say here is make sure you're, I wouldn't say showing off your results, but at least show people that you're actually doing this SMMA business. At least show them that you're actually in the trenches. And I think that's something that people really like seeing from the personal brand. Like, they see me on YouTube and whatnot, but behind the scenes, they really do like seeing that on my Instagram story. So if you're not already following me, I'll leave my Instagram on like the screen somewhere here, so you can definitely go and follow me. And I always post like stories and stuff like that of like how my day's going, what my IPAs were that day, and if I completed them by what time, and like if I just have a sales call, how it went, what was the verdict, all that sort of stuff. So guys, people have been seeing me post these discovery calls that are coming in quite frequently now that I'm using Upwork. So I then put on my next story, if anybody's struggling trying to generate sales calls for their agency, DM me and we'll set up a free call. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. DM me and we'll set up a free call. So guys, all I'm doing, and it's nothing really that special, is I'm just showing people that I'm genuinely in the trenches myself doing this SMMA business, and I'm actually in the trenches and setting discovery calls myself. People have seen me, they've seen the discovery calls pick up in frequency. Now they're wondering how I did it. So I then put on my story, if you're still struggling with setting, discovery calls for your agency, make sure you send me a DM and we can set up a free discovery call. I then started getting a lot of DMs, and I just started screenshotting people who said they were interested and putting those on my story. So all I'm doing here, guys, is it's what you call compounding your results. So I'm taking one screenshot of like the discovery calls I already had set, put them on my story, and then said, if you need help, send me a message, I'll set up a free call. The people who then replied to that story, I screenshotted. So people who were saying, I want that free discovery call, I screenshotted that, put that on my story. And as more people started, actually booking calls with me, I would screenshot all the calls that were coming through and I'd put those on my story. So it kind of creates like a knock-on effect, and it like exponentially increases and compounds your results over time. And it really had like a run-on effect, and just like so many calls were literally just being booked in. But to be honest with you guys, I believe that it's kind of like the iceberg effect, you see, guys. What I mean is, yesterday was a good day for me, as in terms of, setting 17 discovery calls in one day. That's an amazing feat. All organically, by the way. No salesy, pushy DM messages. I didn't DM anybody. They DM'd me. It was all inbound, so I just posted on my story and people then, replied to my story, and I just sent them the link to the actual discovery call. I didn't do cold calling, I didn't do any cold emails, anything like that. These were all inbound leads coming to me. Discovery calls, if you're wondering, by the way, what they are, a discovery call to me is basically just a call that also has it's not just a sales call, guys. And to me, a discovery call is not just a sales call. A discovery call is, I'm genuinely trying to find out more about this person. I'm genuinely trying to show them that I am willing to help them if they're willing to help themselves. I'm also showing them that I'm not a sleazy sales dude, but I want you to see me as a trusted advisor that you can confide in, and you can actually utilize to your own advantage to get from point A to point B. I'm also then seeing at the end if you're a good fit for what I do. If not, I will then point you in the right direction. So I'm coming on there to troubleshoot your current situation, find out more about you, see if I can help you. If I can't, I will then point you in the right direction, at least at the bare minimum. It's a good call. You're not going to lose anything, completely free. If you want to set a discovery call, by the way, you can definitely do that by the link below. But essentially, guys, I went and set all these discovery calls. It was absolutely crazy. Again, it's my this was probably one of the best feats as an entrepreneur I've been able to achieve so far. I've not taken any of these discovery calls yet because I shoot all my videos on Tuesday. All the discovery calls, most of them are set on Wednesday. Then there's a lot of them on Thursday, and I think there's like one Saturday or something like that. But essentially, I'll put on the screenshot if I haven't already of the of my actual calendar. These are real people, by the way. I didn't enter these in myself. I am not that sad, guys. Again, like I said, the only reason why I think this even happened is because I've always remained authentic on my channel, always remained authentic throughout my social media, throughout my whole personal brand. And when it's time for me to offer like free troubleshooting calls for people, I think they just snap at it because I've built up that trust essentially. So guys, with that being said, this is just a video to show you the real power of social media and personal branding. Those two things, if you can kind of like master them, not saying that I've mastered them in any way, shape or form, but guys, if you can leverage those two things I just mentioned, so your personal brand and social media, they are really, really powerful tools for business and they shouldn't be taken lightly. But guys, if you haven't started your personal brand yet, just pick up a camera and just start filming, guys. Build your own audience, build that authenticity, remain authentic. That is the #1 key I can give you right here, guys. But guys, that's how I went about setting up 17 discovery calls for my agency in the next 2 to 3 days. It's probably gonna be a lot of work. I'm probably gonna almost regret it. I'm looking at my calendar and I'm just seeing 9 calls back to back, like 15 minutes in between each call. So that's the busiest I've ever been on one particular day. But I just wanted to document the journey again with you guys. So that's why I'm doing this video. And also, you're probably gonna learn something from this. And that is, get on social media, get your personal brand started. It's not too late. Trust me, you can definitely get it started. Build that audience, build that trust, build that authenticity. You will thank me for it a million times later on down the line. So guys, with that being said, I hope you guys are all doing well, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.